trying to get to the seafront. Trying to get to the beach. When I come into town in my car, it's always difficult to lose the car close to the beach without paying a fortune in car parking fees. So I park away and then try and find it. Part of the fun, I suppose. Keep wanting to turn left, but I can't get there because of all these big hotels. Hopefully I can turn left here. Can I get down there? Hopefully. Yes, yes I can. Right, stop. Got a very excitable dog as well. All right, mate. You stay there, stay there. Morning. How are we? I'll try and get down this way. I don't normally come down this area, but it's pretty. It's really pretty. And I've got... he needs his walk. And I need to tell you something. Because it's finally come to fruition. Is it fruition's the word? I don't know. It's been finally made clear. My path has finally become clear. I've told you in the past how many different lives I've had. The life of the golf pro, the life of car sales, and now the life here. Well, the life here has always been a bit of a, I'm not sure what to do. Now, he's pulling a lot. Very happy being down here. It's very quiet. Very peaceful down here. All right, mate. Come on. It's still quite early, I suppose. Not even 9 o'clock. Is it 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock just. Because it's very quiet, it makes my voice very loud. Where do I start? How do I start? That's always the hard one. How do I start? I've never been down this route before, so let's see where it brings me out. Right, I know where I am. There is Puerto Colon. That's where I'm trying to get to on my walk. And I thought I'll just get around this area. That's not a bad place. Right, how do I start this? You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh at me. Sorry, I'll rephrase that. Some people are gonna laugh at me, but what I want you to do is I want you to laugh with me. What's finally become clear is the direction that I'm going to be taking most probably for the next couple of years when it comes to career-wise in what I'm going to be doing, give myself a bit of a purpose when it comes to work. What you guys know is I'm a compere. I've been comparing now for about 9 months, and I've been doing that at Dylan's bar, and I've been having a ball at it. Now, one of the things about compares is normally compares a singer. Now, as you know, fully aware, I'm not a singer. Don't laugh. That's not the funny bit, but it's true. I'm not a singer. So I've been basing my compare very heavily on comedy. Because when I was doing the golf pro and I was doing the clinics and I was doing the teaching, the golf clinics we used to entertain 100 people at a time on a 3-hour golf clinic, explaining golf to them. And it was done in a comedic, fun way. So it was more like a staff day out for people, and they had a fantastic time. So comedy has always been heavily involved since I was 19 without even thinking about it. What I've decided to do is I've decided now to take that further, and my plan is most probably within a year is to become a stand-up comic on the island. There you go, I've said it. I've just paddled around the island just for 10 minutes to come up and say that. To be a stand-up comic on the island. The problem that I've got, and there's a couple of problems on this one, it's not a problem. The issues, come here man, a couple of issues that I've got with this is the transition. The reason why I started the compare job was what you don't know, was because first of all I had a meeting with a friend of my family's, a good friend of the family's, a friend of mine. You found, mate, you found. A gentleman called George King, who's not a name known to you, but what he is actually George King's a stand-up comic. He's been a stand-up comic for 35 years. Fully enough, he came out of the car sales industry. So he used to be a car salesman that's gone into comedy. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well, this guy was a comic on the cruise ships for many, many years. But his most notable fame was that he was Joe Longthorne's stand-up comic in Blackpool for many, many years when Joe Longthorne was performing in Blackpool. So the guy can do it. Now, I had a chat with him before I started doing the comparing, And I asked him, how do I get into comedy? Because I think I can do it. And he said to me, the best thing you can do is become a compere. The reason being, he says, because that's what he did. That's the route he took. He said, I became a compere. He says, because I was trying comedy out on the audiences every night. And if it worked, carried on a bit longer. If it didn't work, here's the next act, or I threw a song on. He says, so it's a great way of learning. It's a learning curve of whether you think it's of what's going to make or not. It's like trial and error. The reason why I've been the compere is actually purely for that reason. It was more like a learning curve to try and get into the stand-up comedy routines. The issue that I've got is the transition on the island, and it's not the transition of myself, it's the perceived transition of people who know me. Your critics, let's say. I think that's what it is, it's your critics. Because I know in Dylan's, I start work at 9 o'clock, the act comes on at 10, between 9 and 10, the main hour is music and comedy. And people are loving it, people are laughing. The problem I've got is the people that know me, or that critic, and people are going, you're going to do what? And that's a massive blow of confidence, you know what I mean? That's the one way you're going, I'm putting myself out there. It's like, what's going to happen? I put myself out there. What are people going to say? But I thought the time's right to do it. I was chatting with Shelley yesterday, and we came up with the idea that the time is right for me to do it, to actually start that transition over. So my job when I go to work is now with the purpose of an end product, because I can't compare for the rest of my life. But what happens is, a compere will earn X amount for the evening, where an act will earn X amount for the hour. And it's more profitable. And at my age, I think that's something that I need to start looking at, as making it more profitable. Now, you've just twisted me there, haven't you, mate? I'm twisted up now. Always happens. In essence, we've got about 3 comics on the island at the moment, but actually not a sort of stand-up comic that I would like to see myself in, so I'm not going in to copy somebody, I'm actually going into a different market. My comedy influence, my comedic influences have been people like Eddie Izzard, Robin Williams, Billy Connolly, modern comedians as well, but it's just, you know, I just think I can bring something different to a table, that's different to a market really that's not here at the moment, but also whilst making a name for myself. But it's going to be massive, it's going to be scary, it's massively scary putting myself out there to actually do it, the transition over into it. So, as always, I don't do things with these. I thought, just go and do it, just say it and put it out there, and that is literally what's going to be happening between now and most probably within 12 months. I'm going to try and set myself a goal that between now and 12 months I will have an hour's comedy routine ready to go, because that's all it is. It's an hour's routine ready to go that's funny, that's well rehearsed, that I can do and put on the island as an act and go out as an act. So watch this space. For those of you that have seen us at Dylan's, you'll understand the direction, the reason why, because you see what I've done down there in the first hour. It's very why am I forgetting words these days? That's another vlog on itself, isn't it? Christ, what is it? It's very... Oh, this is ridiculous. Not comprehensive, it's very... The word will come to me 15 minutes down the line, you know. It will. So all the little dog's out for a walk now, so we're going to get that as well. Interactive, there you go. When you don't think about it, the word... Buenas. He's more worried about his dog than mine. Very interactive. The comedy that I do is very interactive. I talk to people, talk to them a lot, and get some nice feedback. And if I don't get feedback, I just move on to the next table. But it seems to be working. Shelley's watched us quite a few times, and she's just like on the cuff. She's been watching whilst talking to people, and then next thing you know, I've managed to get their attention. And hola, buena. It's always the little ones, isn't it? Look at that. That's how bothered he is. Don't give a rat's ass about them. Little ones are little shits, aren't they? Honestly. So anyway, that is the direction I'm going to go. The issue I've got, I'm sorry about the bouncing around. It's honestly, the dog's very excited. The issue I've got, as mentioned before, is the transitioning for the acceptance from the people closest to me. You know, the one when I first said I'm going to be a compere, Shelley thinks I could do it, and I've done it, and I'm accomplished at that. I think I'm quite an accomplished compere, but I don't want to be a compere forever. I want to be the comic, the stand-up comic that I think I can be. It's the material starting to come together without even thinking about it, and all you need is a baseline of material for an hour, and then from there you can just move it further forward as well. So nice, isn't it? 9:15 in the morning. So it's just an update really of what the plans are going to be. Wish me luck. It's I think it's probably one of the scariest things I think I've ever done. But I think I'm learning. I'm on the learning curve of it, and I think I'll get there with just with time. I think it'll come to me, and I think and things come back into your head, and things that you wanted to say or I wanted to say that I always forget to tell you or mention. The issue that I have, there's a couple of things. Number one, when I was testing this out about a year ago, nowhere near ready, because I'd not really had the time or put the time into Dylan's bar to practice the stuff, to feel comfortable and confident. I did a gig once at and a bar had an actor had let a bar down badly, and they put a thing out on Facebook saying, look, we've been let down, we're desperate to get anybody free. And I went, yeah, I'll do it for you, no problem at all. And I thought, I'll give it a go, just jump in the deep end and see how it works. And they were very gracious enough to put me on there. And it did all right. I was there for 2.5 hours actually, and it went okay. Funny enough, never been asked again, which is fair enough, because I get that as well, because also it's like I was new. I wasn't a singer. But while I was on there, one of the comedic acts on the island walked past, spoke to somebody I knew without realising I knew him, as if to say, well, who's that? Who's, we don't want any Tom, Dick and Harry coming up here thinking they can do it. And that massively, that got back to me, and that massively affected my confidence, which was maybe understandable, I don't know. I never told anybody, never mentioned it, but that's most probably set me back maybe 6 months, because you can hear it. The person won't watch it, this most probably won't get back to them, but it's little things like that, the drive, the goals, for me, that make me more determined to achieve it rather than not achieve it, if that makes some sense. The second thing was, on the island, with regards to all acts, we've got some fantastic acts on the island, and I thought to myself, I could do the comedy, I could do the Dick Rapper, and I'd most probably end up turning that into an act, but I think I'd end up in the bracket of the not so great acts, and I'd never want to be that sort of person. If I was going to do it, if I'm going to do something, I've always got to make sure I'm the best at it. Hence the reason why I'm going to go down the comedy route. So, watch this space. If you're an actor on the island, let us know what you think. Come here, just jump in the road, suicide. Let us know what you think. Good or bad, I'll take it. And we'll see what happens in 6 months' time, eh? But mark this date, 23rd of May, 2023 is the day I'll put it out there. All right? As always, have a great day. See you soon.